I'm 27 years old and have built a six-figure investment portfolio from scratch twice. And the other day, a friend texted me and said, "Hey Joey, I've been trying to be better with my money and grow my investments. What is the most common habit most people don't do that you would recommend for me?" And I love that question because most people ask me, what account should I open? What account should I invest in? And how much should I invest? But being able to grow your wealth requires patience and consistent discipline. So none of that matters if you don't have this one habit locked in first. I'm going to explain what it is, how it took my portfolio from $300 to $100,000. I'll also give you my rules for implementing this habit daily and the exact tool you can use to track it. So let's start with what this habit actually is and why it is so important in my investing journey. When it comes to investing, people think the most important habits are reading the stock charts, staying updated on every company's earnings, or researching ETFs to buy. But for the average person, that's not actually what's stopping them from growing. The real thing that prevents most people from building a portfolio is not having money consistently set aside to invest every single month and not knowing what percentage of their income should go where. What solves that problem is budgeting, tracking, and having clear rules for your income and spending. And I'm not talking about the generic advice like put 20% into savings. I'm talking about strict, specific rules that are tied to your actual numbers with a system to track it properly. When I started my investing journey, I was working 3 jobs, didn't know anything about the stock market, and only had $300 set aside. But what I did know was that people who were rich had rules for their money and stuck to them. So that's exactly what I decided to do. Every day after a long day of serving and bartending, I'd come home, grab a pen and paper, and I'd write down exactly how much I made in tips down to the penny. And for the next 4 years, as I learned more about investing, I stayed very strict with my budgeting and tracking. I eat the same cheap meals over and over again. I saved money whenever I could, so no takeout, no restaurants, and the only time I ever ate out was when I was working at a shift at a restaurant and the chefs made a mistake on the food order. So since it can't be served and it will be thrown out anyway, I just took advantage of free food. Otherwise, it just wasn't in the budget. And the place I was renting at the time wasn't really even a room. There was no lock on the door, no lights, no closet. If I needed to find anything at night, I'd have to use my phone flashlight. But here's what I need you to understand about that season of my life. I wasn't doing any of that to suffer. I was doing it because I knew exactly what every dollar I was not spending was going to do instead. Every meal I didn't buy, every expense I cut, I could see on paper exactly where that money was going, and that's the part most people miss entirely. Budgeting and tracking isn't really about restriction. It's about being able to look at your numbers and say, okay, this is what's coming in, this is where it's going, and this is exactly how much I can put to work this month. Without that clarity, you're guessing. And when you're guessing, you either invest too little because you're scared, or you don't invest at all because you're not sure if you can actually afford to. I remember the first time I transferred that $300 into my brokerage account. I almost canceled it immediately. I was that unsure and that scared of losing money that I had worked really hard for. But the only reason I didn't cancel was because I had tracked my numbers and I knew that $300 wasn't going to leave me short. I had done the math, I had seen it, and it was right there in front of me. Without that, fear would have won and I would have never started. That's what this habit actually does. It doesn't just help you save more money, it gives you the confidence to use it. And even as I started making more money, I kept the habit the exact same. Everyone is different, so you don't need to copy these exactly, but you can adjust it to fit your life. Rule number 1, 50% of your take-home income goes to your needs. So rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, your phone bill, the non-negotiables that keep your life running. Like it would genuinely cause a problem to not pay it. It goes in that bucket. And no, Uber Eats and Netflix is not a need. Rule number 2, 30% goes to savings and investing. This is the wealth building bucket. And this is the one that matters most for what we're talking about today. Inside this 30%, you're building your emergency fund, you're making your TFSA contributions, RRSP contributions. This is the bucket where your portfolio actually grows. And for rule number 3, your last 20% goes to wants. That's your guilt-free spending money, already accounted for, already budgeted. You don't have to second guess a dinner out or a purchase you actually want to make because it's already in the plan. With specific rules set, you stop having the internal debate. You stop asking yourself, can I afford to invest this month? Because that decision is already made for you. And when you automate those contributions on top of it, It stops being a willpower decision entirely. It just happens without having to think about it. Again, these rules are a starting point, not a law. When I was working 3 jobs and my expenses were extremely low, I pushed my savings and investing percentage higher than 30%. The rule adapts to your situation. What doesn't change is the principle. Give every dollar a job before it lands into your account. And this is exactly why having a tracking system matters, because good intentions without a system have real costs. I did the envelope challenge early on, so I saved $10,000 in cash, physically in envelopes, because it felt productive. It felt like I was doing something. But the entire time, the money was sitting idle, earning nothing. If it had been in a high interest savings account, I would have been earning interest on every single dollar the whole time. I didn't catch that gap until later because I had the right habit but not the right system to go with it. Rules without tracking are just intentions. The system is what turns intention into actual progress. At the start, all I had was a pen and paper, but I was starting to make more money. I was putting more into different investments. I needed something better to track all of this. So I built the perfect system for what I needed. Let me show you. So when you get the finance tracker, this is kind of the home screen. You get a monthly overview of your total income, total expenses, your total saved, and you also get a percentage of your wants budget. So if we go in here, I love this thing so much. I can talk about this forever. Okay, so your income, you just press new page. Let's say your job number 1. Today is June 2026. Let's say they pay you $300, let's say. And then you had a side hustle. This is June as well. And it paid you $600. This is how much you earned this month. And then based on the 50-30-20 rule, these are the numbers you kind of want to adhere by. So like I said before, 50% needs, 30% savings, 20% wants. It's all there. And then this is your expenses. So income is here, expenses is here. And all of this will be tracked, by the way, which is amazing. So let's say you paid rent. The category would be housing. And this is in June. The reason why we want this column is because it actually populates over here. So we're just tracking everything when you put this in. Okay, so let's say your rent was $100. You also got groceries, and that is groceries right here. Again, it's June, and let's say your groceries cost $250. And then let's say you went shopping or something like that. This is under luxury and non-essential. June, and let's say you spent, I don't know, $105. And then just say this is Lululemon, so you guys don't get confused about like essentials shopping. I don't know, what else do you guys do? Oh, gym membership. Gym membership to me will be an essential. So here is fitness. This is June, and then my membership is $45 but twice a month, so it's about $90. But anyway, once you put all of this in, again, you have the 50-20 rule, you have your expenses and your needs and wants. And then once you go home, like to the main page, this is kind of like a bird's eye view of your finances. So your total income was this is how much you spent, this is how much you saved, and then you spent like 16% of your wants or something. So this is really neat. So this is kind of like what I do every day or every week. And then you go into the assets and debts tab, and this is where you put in all of your assets and debts. So basically your savings accounts, your investments, these are all assets, right? So for your emergency fund, you can put your target amount here. It can be anything you want, maybe 15,000 to start. And then every single time you add money to your emergency fund, for example, let's say I put money into my emergency fund this month. Let's say I put $20 into my emergency fund. This automatically populates over here. And then you can see like the progress bar of like how much you've saved and how close you are to your target. I think that's really, really neat. Emergency fund, 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. Bank account number 1. This could be like checking account or whatever. This is just like 1 month's worth of savings. You can just change bank account to, I don't know, like emo, everyday checking account. You can name it whatever bank you have, PC Financial, TD, CIBC, anything you want. For your investment accounts, you can just change it to TFSA. And then you can put in, you literally have to go onto your TFSA, like log in into your brokerage account and then update how much money you have it there. And then that's what tracks it. And then your savings account, whatever it is, you can even add a new account, for an example. This is like, again, your payment log. So whenever you add money to your TFSA, etc., it will, once you lock it here, it will transfer to these accounts. And then debts. So these are your credit cards. So for an example, I have a Amex, and then I owe, let's say, I don't know, this much money. It also tells you the progress of like how much you still owe, which is really cool. You can do bank loans, student loan, you can even add like another loan, for an example, like mortgage or something if you want. And then once you pay your debts down, again, it populates over here. And then once you do your assets and debts, you know that net worth equals assets minus debts. So it actually tracks your net worth over here. So with what I just put in the finance tracker, this is my current net worth. And then I put in the target amount is $100,000. So yeah, it's a very cute template. It's very minimalistic, and I wanted it to work like an app, like automatically populates everything. The only thing you need to do is just sign into all of your accounts and just update this every single day or every single week. And it should literally take you like 10-15 minutes, but it's so good for you, such a good habit to build. The reason why I call this the finance tracker and not the budgeting template is because it does so much more than just helping you track what's going in and out. I built this like an interactive app where there are progress bars so you can take a quick glance at how you're doing. It automatically populates the 50-30-20 rule. It tracks your bank accounts and investing accounts and credit cards. And this helped me so much, like having to open all of my finance accounts to get the updated numbers. What I love most about this tracker is that after you input all of your assets and debts, it tracks your net worth as well. This is the tool I'd recommend for anyone. Doesn't matter how much money you have, it's always good to know exactly where each dollar is going. And that's how I reached $500,000 in assets by the age of 27. If this video helped you understand where to actually start, not with picking stocks, but with getting your system in place first, then this is your foundation. Grab the tracker in the description, run your numbers through the 50-30-20 rule, and start knowing exactly where your money is going. That one habit is what everything else gets built on. And if you want to learn how to start investing once your system is set up, watch this video next.